Hello everyone, this is ChristianMelodics.Interactive, and in this video we are going to actually implement going back in the history, the route history. So if I click the About button or Accounts button and then click About, then if I hit back and back, we'll go back correctly, and all the while once we're back in the history is empty, the back button is not displayed, and while we were navigating, the correct buttons were being set active as we went both forward and backwards. And so that's what we'll take care of in this video. Before we get started here, I do want to take the time to thank you for watching the video, and if you're a subscriber, I do appreciate it, and if you are not a subscriber, I hope that you'll consider subscribing to the channel. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing that we're going to do is go into our store here, and we're going to add into our route types. And I want to export type this, what we're doing here may be a bit unneeded, but just to keep sort of pattern here, we're going to have a pop route payload, and actually we don't need any information. We're just going to pop whatever topmost route is. But so now we have this payload. Let's go into the store constants and define a couple of constants here. So for popping, so we have export const action pop route, same deal. Nope. Route, so we're popping that, and we need the mutation, of course. Mutation, pop, route. Save that. And with that done, we can go into the route module here and import. So we need the action for popping and the mutation for popping. Perfect. So now I need to implement them, of course. So action, pop route, this, store, iStore, commit, store context. Did I do anything? I didn't actually bring it into the actions and whatnot. So the usual commit, mutation, pop. So now to define the mutation, and mutation pop. You need a state, iStore state. All right, so what we'll do here is, I guess, a couple things here. I guess I'll just do it all in a switch. So switch, and we'll switch on state.routes.history.length. So if the length is 0, we'll just return. If it's 1, then we'll say state.routes.history is a new empty array, and we're done. And no, in that case, default. So if it's default, what we'll do is just say state.routes.history is equal state.routes.history.slice1. And we'll return. Okay, so that will take care of it for popping it off, right? So what we'll do now is go into our routing service. So right now we do not have a notion of whether we're routing forward or backward. We just are saying route. So route navigate to. So let's create a new stream for it, make it easier for us. And that will be private, read-only, navigate back, new subject. Same as the sort of navigate or navigate forward. Private, read-only, navigate back, and stream, and that's equal to this dot navigate back dot as observable. So now we have a stream. Let's go here and do the same thing. Public get navigate back stream. Turn this dot navigate back. All right. So now what we do in, we can modify our back here. Oh, because I want a constructor first. Okay, so constructor. On the constructor, what we're going to pass in is a private read-only. We're going to give it the store, which is store of type. Forgot to import stuff. That's the type. So import from Vuex store. We also need to import from store. We need the I store state. Now we're back to our constructor, so it's of type store, I store state. All right, so now we have the store. So inside of back, we'll just completely modify back here. So what we'll say is that if this dot underscore store dot state dot routes dot history dot length, a lot of dots. So if it's empty, we just return, nothing to go back to. Otherwise, const2 is equal to this dot store dot state dot routes dot history 0. And then we just say this dot navigate back, navigate back dot next and 2. I feel like I've messed something up. Oh, navigate. Misspell something along the way. Navigate back. Navigate back. Now we're good. And of course on complete, we have to remember this dot navigate back dot complete. Save that. Of course, we added a parameter to our constructor, so we need to fix that. So in the main.ts is where we're creating our route service. We can just pass in the store that we're also creating. So that's working now. And what next? Router outlet. So inside of our router outlet, we need to deal with, again, whether we're navigating forward or navigating backward. Right now we just animate based on the location of the relationship between to and from routes within the sort of route tree that we created when we had the concept of a parent. So what we'll do is just import a few things here from store, right? So we need action pop, and we also need, I guess we don't need, it's void anyway, but just to keep with everything. So we need the action for doing that, which is action pop route. So private read only pop route, and that's action function of pop route. All right, so now we have an action. Guess we'll approach this. Let's go down to create it here. What I'm going to, let's start this way. So let's create a private navigate back. It's going to take in a route. Oops. And navigating back is going to be, well, we'll create them here in a minute. This dot animate back, and we'll pass in that route. And then once that's done, we'll just say this dot pop route. Perfect. And we'll have a private navigate forward, which will also take a route. And in this case, we just say this dot push route, and it's going to be this dot routing service dot current dot route. And then we can say this dot animate forward route. So we need, of course, animate forward and animate back. So we'll deal with that. So just to remind us, right, of course, we're animating based on, again, from and to. So let's go ahead and just wipe that out. So we'll have a general animate where we'll pass in a route, and we'll also pass in a type, which is an animation type. So given that, we'll say this dot is animating out is going to be true. So this dot to entry is equal to this dot routing service dot find and the route that we're being passed. And then we'll also say this dot animate subject or animation subject next, the type of animation and the options. So animate options out. So we do need our back and forward. Private animate back. So we're passing in the route enum to it. This dot in animation is going to be animation types dot translate in from the left. So that's what we want. So we're animating back. So we want that to come in from the left, and then we want this dot animate route animation types dot out to the right. So we'll go out to the right and in from the left for back. And private animate forward routes. So this dot in animation types dot in from the right. This dot animate route animation types dot, I guess, out to the left. Right, out to the left. All right, so we'll save that. Do a little bit of refreshing real quick just to make sure that we haven't broken anything. Might have, I don't think I just keep doing it when I first started testing it here. So I think I just have something out of whack while we're doing it. So forget that I'm trying to test it out now. We'll just, oh. Actually, don't forget. That's right. It goes over here. Excuse me. Because our error is right here, right? So in this case, navigate is supposed to be pointing to navigate forward. And then we want this dot routing service dot navigate back string to subscribe to this dot navigate back. Save that. All right, now try. Okay, so that's all still working, and we are navigating in the right direction. We'll see something here that we need to fix here in a second, which is that the buttons, we're not updating which is active, as we're only listening right now to navigation forward, not navigation back. But before we do that, what we want is, so if I refresh, I navigate to the accounts, and then I navigate back using the back button. I should be back. The history is empty, or should be empty. Let's see. So if I click on this, my history is array of 0 length, so the history is empty, yet our back button is still being shown. So let's take care of that part. And the first thing that we're going to do in doing that is store constants and export const. So state routes, and that's routes. So we're good there. Now we can go to our app bar. So app bar up here. So app bar, we have to import a few things here. So import from /store. We need the I route state routes, and state decorator. So we can use all of those to at state. Which one? State routes. Private read only. Route state, which is a I route state. Perfect. Okay, so now on created, what we're going to do is we can make this not async anymore. Get rid of that because show back is going to start off false because we're going to be at the, history is going to be empty at the moment. So then routing service and, oops, I think I skipped something, which I did. So back to our routing service first. And right now, navigate to and navigate back are happening during the navigation. What we want is to be notified when the navigation has completed. So enter another private read-only, and I called it route changed. New subject, nothing getting passed to it. Private read-only, route changed, stream this dot route change dot as observable. Perfect. Our usual public get route changed stream. Turn this dot, route changed. All right, so we've got that. So on back, what we'll do is then just say at the very end, route changed dot next. Completed, we have to say this dot route change dot complete. And navigate to this dot route change dot next. Now we can go back. We can attempt to go back. Be told that I made a little error, which is somewhere right there. Finding my own language. All right. So now we're back to the app bar here. And we have this, we're listening to navigate and then using that to determine whether we were on the home page or not. Now we're going to listen to route changed, and I'm going to call it changed now, and it's not going to receive anything. And so show back though is just going to be this dot route state dot history dot length. If that's not equal to 0, then show the back button. Save that and refresh. And now we can come in here, and if I hit go to accounts, go back, now the back button disappears. Just add a few more, so we're on home, accounts, about, back to accounts, back to home, no back button. Of course, like I said, we need to deal with this set active for our buttons here. And I think we can do that very simply by coming in here, main nav button, and all we have to do is add into this routing service navigate back subscribe this set active. Save that. Refresh them for good measure. And accounts, about, back to accounts, back to home, no back button, and the correct buttons were being set active the entire time. And of course, if we look at our states, we have our push route, pop route, and everything seems to be working correctly. So of course, in this video, we took care of, notifying our app bar that we no longer can go back because we're already at the end of the history, and we have our buttons in the main nav bar there being set active correctly. So I guess par for the course here. I'm not sure what we'll do next. We'll have to think about that. But until then, I will talk to you later. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. I know that your time is valuable. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel and click the thumbs up button, as well as share the video with your friends. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below. And once again, thank you, and I will talk to you in the next video.